Hello everybody, welcome to another model showcase. As I have a lot of models I would like to go through, unfortunately I couldn't get them all through this year, but we'll get to them. If I can stop fucking buying more. Who to look at? We'll look at this red guy. He's a bitch. Just like Thomas, James was done in a model series aesthetic. In this case, I chose season 3. Let's get into how I built this little chap. After the failure of the first James, I've hit up my friend Matt, aka Mixed Traffic Engines, to print them out, and the shells were designed by LBSC Thomas. Once I test fitted all the parts to make sure they fit, sanding and filling needed to be done, and that took hours, and hours, and hours. After I was done sanding, I've decided to do one test of primer to see if any imperfection showed. While the primer coat was drying, I spray painted the gold on the dome and primed the back buffers ready for painting. Then the red was applied using TS49. After that, I decided to go back to the body shell and do the final round of sanding and priming, which came out really smooth. While that was drying, I did the black bit on for the roof and other details. As for the tender, I sanded it down till it was smooth and then put the buffers on. And then I also added the black to the smoke box. While all that was drying, I decided to start working on the running board. I didn't take photos. However, the only photo I do have is when I was putting in the lamp iron using push pins. I believe it was push pins. I don't exactly know, but they were some form of pins. After adding the final bits, I decided to clear coat it. After that, I've decided to cut the tender a little bit and test on all the parts, and my god, it came out so clean. Wow. After all that, I've decided to do the red on the body, which honestly came out pretty clean. I mean, I'm not complaining. There's like no marks on it. After letting that dry for a day, I then put all the parts on, such as the dome and roof. Now for our favorite part, lining. Lining was done by using gold strips of vinyl that I had custom made for me. Once I was done, I gave it a good clear coat and then wait for it to dry for a day. And then after that was all dry, I decided to do the handrail knobs and rails, which were actually really easy this time around as I didn't need to do any drilling. Once I was done with that, I decided to put the front end to the side for a while so I can start working on the tender. All I needed to do to the tender was quite literally just cut off the door and step ladders with a Dremel tool. Once the cutting was done, I've used a McDonald's gift card that was measured and cut to size and then was super glued and was also filled and sanded till smooth. Once it was seamless, I've gave it a nice coat of primer so I could do the red. The awesome red coat was put on shortly after. Then once that was dried, I've decided to put on the vinyl, which that was easy to do, and it came out amazingly well. Then after that, I gave it a nice final clear coat. After it was all dried, I've added the final bits such as the back light, front light, and as well as the safety valve. After all that, James was done. Hooray! Now, there's still one little detail I gotta put in, such as the whistle, but other than that, James is pretty much done. Now, let's just see how he runs, shall we? Hey, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video about my new James, and I promise there will be more videos across the whole entire engines. It's just very time consuming. But with that being said, this is the last video of 2023. 2024 will hopefully kick off with Percy. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.